Upper House is a ultra-luxury new concept hotel here in Hong Kong that's centered around wellness, design, and service. It was recently named number 5 hotel in the world by World's 50 Best and regularly wins Best in Class by Tatler. It's an interesting hotel and unlike anything I've really ever seen before, so I decided to give it a full review. I travel around the world and review the top luxury properties out of 50 points in 5 categories. The categories are the ambiance, the room, the dining, the service, and the it factor. I'm not being paid by the hotel, I'm just a guest staying here for the very first time. And they did let us know that the room is ready a little bit early, so let's go get a sneak peek. The main lobby has a small seating area and a circular check-in desk, which I've actually never seen before. Now, the hotel isn't actually that small number of rooms wise, but it does feel like a boutique hotel as soon as you walk in. Now, before we get deeper into the hotel, I want to show you exactly how it's laid out with this fun map here. So you walk through the valet into the lobby where I just was, and the only option you have is to go up the escalator. Once you get to the top, you have access to the cafe, the lounge area, and the outdoor garden. We'll look at those in just a second. That's where you'll find the elevator. You go up the elevator and you can access the guest rooms, the gym in the penthouse, and the top floor, which has a yoga room and 2 restaurants, Salistera and the Green Room. Now, across the street from the Upper House is the Pacific Place Apartments, which is relevant because a few of the activities at the Upper House actually take place in the apartment complex. They also have another restaurant there called the Continental, which is owned and operated by the Upper House. Now that you know where everything is, let's actually go see it. Right now, we're on the escalator that they call the Upward Journey. So this is replacing that standard kind of elevator that you would find in the lobby of any luxury hotel. And they say the Upward Journey takes you into the Upper House, all of the spaces in the hotel. You literally can't access any of them unless you go on the Upward Journey. This is the primary lounge and public space here at the Upper House. There's some limited seating, a small cafe, and a garden outside. There is a gym at the Upper House, which used to be a guest suite, so they gutted it and put in a lot of expensive equipment. In fact, this is some of the most expensive high-end equipment that I've seen at a hotel, which begs the question, why not take some of that money and build an actual gym and then put in standard equipment so there's more space as opposed to a very high-end gym in a cramped small room? That's up for them to decide, but I will say as a guest staying here, it has been empty the entire time. I've enjoyed some of the branded Upper House high-end, barely used yoga mats and other items they have. Right outside of that cafe area is the outdoor garden. Now this is a very small public outdoor space in the hotel. In fact, it's the only outdoor space on the entire property. There's some nice seating here. It's very well designed, albeit they have turf instead of grass out here. And it is very nice at sunset, but that's really the public spaces outside of the top floor. Speaking to the cleanliness of the hotel, Swire Properties, for those that know them, have an incredible reputation for impeccably clean and well-maintained hotels. In fact, they clean the glass on the outside of this building every single day. However, there are a couple of things in the hotel that they have missed, like this water here is pretty filthy to be honest, but unless you're looking for the details and the small specifics like I am, you won't notice a thing. The Upper House doesn't have a pool, a spa, and that gym is pretty small, but what they do have are 10 wellness partners that they've partnered with here in Hong Kong. So these are third-party companies that offer wellness and various different activations here in the Upper House and across the street, also owned by the same company that owns Upper House. So they've brought in the Upper House structure and some of the amenities into these wellness experiences and partnered and really blended the two worlds together. I booked a handful of them to show you what they're like, and we'll include that in the ambiance score. Now, Swire Properties owns a lot of this area, including the Upper House and some apartment complexes. So they took a good amount of their wellness partners and just put them in the apartments across the street. It's not the most convenient access to some of the amenities of the hotel, and it's a little bit strange, but let's just go with it for now. So one of the 10 wellness partners that they have at the Upper House is Up Health. So today I'm gonna get a little bit of an adjustment, get my back cracked. I don't know what to expect, but I definitely need it. Just gonna give yourself a big hug. Thanks, man. That was amazing. You worked up a sweat.
I did.
That was one of the most incredible experiences. I've never had a chiropractic treatment like that before. The back cracks, it was gentle but still really impactful. One of the best parts about this is they offer complimentary chiropractic work to the staff that work at the Upper House. Wow, if the rest of the wellness partners are like that, this is gonna be extremely interesting. Let's go look around the hotel. The Upper House has 2 resident in-house wellness programs, one of which is Good Yoga. So they do meditation and yoga, of course, but they also do sound baths, and I'm about to try one.
You enter into a quiet, luxurious space. It is deeply reflective. You are in the most unimposing experience, and the very essence of yoga is a medicine of connection, an opportunity for us to deepen our relationship to ourselves, but agreeing that for that moment, ourself is within the group mind. I just kept offering sound. That sound turned into a singing bowl, and that turned into a tingsha bell, and then over time started bringing more and more instruments. So it's like each instrument represents sort of like another voice, and so it becomes that sound journey that connects us to all that was, all that is, and all that will be.
The next one is Family Form, which apparently is a very hard workout.
So, I mean, as a guest here, you realize their gym is quite small. There is no actual spa, there's no pool. And so for them, as like, the best hotel, in my opinion, it was something that they needed to focus on in terms of curating more wellness. It's meant to make you feel stronger, make you feel more flexible. There's a lot of different styles of exercise, and they're not all as intense or demanding as this can be. I don't mind if only like 1 out of 20 people who try it actually stick to it, because that's really who it's for.
Wow, extremely good workout. It's basically non-stop continuous movement all the way throughout, weighted legs the entire time. Everyone in the class is an absolute beast. So I'm back here trying to just keep up the whole time. If you did this 3 to 5 times a week, you don't need anything else. Showered, changed, and I can't wait for this next wellness partner, 10X Longevity. I've reviewed gyms in luxury hotels all over the world now, but the real question is, how do I stay in shape in between those reviews in my own home? Averon is my go-to here at home, and they were kind enough to sponsor this video. So let me tell you a little bit about it. The reason I love this is I'm a big gamer. I love video games, I always have. I even have a few video game Easter eggs in some of these videos if you watch closely. The fact that you can level up your character, get achievements on your profile, it just makes working out so much more fun. In fact, you are 2.5 times more likely to finish an exercise if there's a game tied to it or some kind of performance tracking metric. Averon has high-tech, game psychology-based rowing machines, treadmills, and bikes that you can purchase. In fact, if you use the code Ryan Walker, you get $50 off any of the purchases on their site. So you can scan the QR code on your screen right now for $50 off any of the Averon products. As I mentioned, they are the kind sponsors of today's video at the Upper House. I'm just a genuine, honest, true fan. Now, let's get back into the Upper House and take a look at the rest of those wellness partners. Another one of Upper House's wellness partners is 10x Longevity. So here in that same building that you saw before, they have a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, contrast therapy with cold plunge pool, you know how much I love that, and the dry sauna. They also have a red light therapy, which I've never done before. So I'm gonna give those a try, see how we feel, and can't wait to get in there.
Right now, you're breathing in 97% of pure oxygen, and when you breathe in concentrated oxygen in a pressurized chamber environment, your cardiovascular system will send more oxygen and nutrients to your blood cells. So your sleep quality will be improved, and you're also going to increase your stem cell production.
Wow, that was very cool. I can't even explain it. It's something you just have to do for yourself. So after you return from space, part 2 is the infrared sauna and the cold plunge. I'm a big fan of cold plunges. There's a whole circuit here where you go 10 minutes in the sauna and then you go into the cold plunge for 1 to 2 minutes. The final step here at 10x Longevity is the red light treatment that they have here. And you can see it is very, very bright. So it increases your melatonin hormone production, which is the sleep hormone, and also increases your collagen production when you're in there. So you get a little bit tired, it rejuvenates your skin. So that's what I've heard. I've never tried it myself. This is going to be the very first time.
The hotel also has a functional nutrition wellness partner that will literally customize and create an entire meal plan for you while you're staying here. How many hotels do you know offer something like that?
The sixth wellness partner is Stone & Star, which is everything from tarot and fortune readings to handmade jewelry and rare stones, all for sale right at the Upper House.
Those aren't even all of the wellness partners. They also have laser skin therapy and a professional makeup artist.
Both of those services can be booked right at the Upper House and take place across the street at that apartment complex. All of these wellness partners really are a comprehensive look at your physical, aesthetic, and internal health.
So those were all of the wellness partners here at the Upper House. The fact that they offer this off-site and on-site will definitely contribute to the it factor a little bit later. When you stay here at the Upper House, you're going to be doing this walk back and forth quite a lot, and you really are in a concrete jungle right here. But unlike New York or other major cities, it feels a little bit cold and heartless in the area. Yes, the grounds are well manicured and the gardening is very beautiful, but that's not the Upper House. That's just this corporate center that the Upper House happens to be in. It's far from my favorite location of the hotels I reviewed, and that walk is not the most pleasant. It's time to give this hotel an official ambiance score. Now, this was a very difficult one to give because on one hand, some of the traditional things you come to expect at this price point at a luxury hotel, like a pool, like a spa, like a larger gym, more restaurants, just were not available here at the Upper House. But on the other hand, they've really been strategic about bringing in those partners that they brought in for the wellness program. Many of those treatments were so interesting, so cool, so fun, and things that I'll remember for a long time. However, a lot of them are also in an apartment building across the street from the Upper House. It doesn't feel like it's really a part of this hotel, so is it fair to even include that in the ambiance? I'll leave that up to you. But for me, I gave the ambiance here a 7.5 out of 10. Here at the Upper House, there are 117 rooms total. 21 of those are suites, and 2 of those are penthouse suites. The base room, as of recording of this video, goes for about $575 US per night, and the top penthouse goes for around $3,900 US, which is honestly one of the most reasonably priced penthouses we've seen on this channel. Now, I am staying in the Andre Fu penthouse suite, so I'll give you a chance to take a look at that. We'll do the bed test in that room, the service test, the breakfast test, but I want to show you the base level room and review that. We'll combine both of those and give a final room score at the end. Let's go inside. Before we really dive into this room, I want to talk about some of the design choices in the hall that we kind of just skimmed right over.
First of all, the room number is not actually engraved or etched or in the wall, it's behind it. So it's a very seamless, clean wood paneling with lit up room numbers behind, which I thought was so well done. You also saw the room card goes right up against the wood with a little area that's kind of indicating where to put the card, and that opens your door. It's those little elements of luxury and detail that really make this room special, and it's consistent through the room as well. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start on this side of the room. This window and this view, I'm telling you, the camera does not even do it justice. It is a mountain behind me with lush rainforest tropical greenery, and interspersed in there are tennis courts, basketball courts, little roads that are weaving through the green trees here. It's verdant, it's so beautiful. One of the most spectacular views ever of any hotel room, base or otherwise. Also on this side of the room is another interesting thing. They 3D printed their recycling bin and their trash bin. So you often don't see recycling in a lot of rooms in luxury hotels, but I love that they're considering sustainability. They're 3D printing it so it's sustainable in and of itself. I think it's a really nice touch, and it honestly doesn't detract from the design of the room at all. Now keep in mind this is a base level room, and this is, by the way, the largest base level room in all of Hong Kong. Over on this side you have an Illy coffee machine, a hot water kettle, nothing too special, but something that I found very funny and interesting. On the bottom here, they give you a toaster in the room. Now I asked about this because I found it to be so strange, and it's in every single room here at the Upper House, from base level all the way to suite. And the reason they did it is because they want you to feel like it's a home. So feeling like it's home, you get some bread from dinner, you want to come back, refresh it, you can do it right in your room. I've never seen this before. I think it's a little silly, but it's more symbolic than anything. They've also changed the concept of the mini bar, and they call it the maxi bar. So here in your Upper House maxi bar, all of the soft drinks, waters, everything you see in here except for wine and liquor is complimentary and refreshed every single day. And we're not talking inexpensive little drinks. No, complimentary large bottles of Evian sparkling water, complimentary sodas, complimentary tea, and the reason it's called a maxi bar is because it is so much larger than the mini bar. I've been kind of disappointed consistently across Hong Kong with the lack of Hong Kong local snacks. In Costa Rica, for example, they incorporated and brought in local snack makers and chocolate makers and gave you a taste of the place that you are. All we have here are Blue Diamond almonds. But I think they're trying to be inclusive of that international audience. But it would be like someone from China going to the United States and having all Chinese snacks in the minibar. It kind of takes away from the fun of being in that place and trying something new. Now before we test the shower and show you the bathroom, which is a must-see, this bed looks pretty inviting. It's large, looks comfortable, but on closer inspection, the sheets are pretty stiff, pretty starchy, and the pillows are very firm. So it doesn't feel like they would have a lot of give to them, but we won't know for sure until I sleep in it, wake up, and give it a review in the morning. Now I'm not gonna sleep in this bed. I'm gonna sleep in the Andre Fu Suite bed, which is a blue bed. It's the only blue bed in the entire hotel, but it's the same mattress, the same sheets, just mine are colored blue. The bathroom. This bathroom is so beautifully designed. It's minimalistic, it's elegant, it's got incredible mood lighting. You feel calm just being in it. There's 2 mirrors here, 2 sinks, everything pristine. You have a small seating area with a rotating mirror, a lot of closet space with all of the wellness amenities you would need, like a yoga mat and some cards to order more if you need them. Really very thoughtful in how they created and designed this space. It's almost the same size as the rest of the room, and that's a good thing. This is actually a massive base level room, especially for the price, because you haven't seen. This is my favorite part of the room, and how couldn't it be? You've got this major bathtub with a view, this incredible glass window, the art with the lighting underneath it, a towel rack. It's so spacious in here, and the shower is crazy. Again, base level room. Continue to remember that. The price point on this and how much space you get and the view that you have is better than most base level rooms I've ever reviewed or seen. In fact, it might be the best. Now, if you're new to the channel, the shower test is 3 criteria points. That is the size, the ease of use, and the pressure. Let's start with the size. Very spacious. You have a seating area, small, again, minimalistic shelf here, plenty of room for a rain shower and a handheld. So that definitely passes. Moving on to ease of use, not as great. So you have these 2 dials here on the wall. They are not clearly indicated. It'd be very easy to put a little icon that explains that this one is the handheld, this one is the rain shower, but I found myself forgetting which one is which. Also, the dial here below has a heat protector on it, so you can't get too hot, but it doesn't tell you what direction is hot or cold. So you might just get a shock of being way too cold when you turn on the shower. So ease of use, I don't think so. And finally, let's take a look at the pressure. The water flow is pretty steady here. Pressure is decent. It's good for a rain shower. It's not too strong or too hard. It's not too soft. Some of the spouts here, as you can see in the center, are a little bit clogged, so probably could just use a little bit of a cleaning there, something that I look for. But overall, the pressure is great. So even with that slight confusion with the handles, this does pass the shower test. If you thought that was cool, I can't wait to show you the suite I booked. So we don't need to do a full walkthrough of the suite because it is literally humongous, but one of the key differences is the Andre Fu blue bed. This is not only the only blue bed in this whole hotel, it's also the only blue bed I have ever slept in on this channel. This is his signature color, and they also sell some of his decor in the lobby as well. Now I'm going to sleep in this bed and give it a room score in the morning, but before I do that, I want to call the front desk and order room service breakfast for tomorrow. A little bit later in this review, in the service segment, we're going to see if the food arrived on time, if it was hot and fresh, and if they got the order right, because I always order the same thing. Let's call the front desk. Hi there, could I order room service breakfast for tomorrow, please?
Yes, what would you like to order?
Yeah, could I order a Eggs Benedict and a black coffee, please?
What time would you like the breakfast sent to your room?
Let's do this at 7 a.m., please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Let's get some sleep. All right, so as I thought, this bed actually is not that comfortable. It's pretty firm. The pillows are kind of hard. I couldn't get them to fit my head right, and I'm really sensitive to light when I sleep. I'm a definite light sleeper, and it seemed like there was some light coming through the window. Even though they maybe have a blackout curtain going on, it doesn't feel like it. There's still a lot of light that comes in the room. The biggest thing for me, the temperature does not go below 70 degrees Fahrenheit in this room. And if you watch my Equinox review, I've been setting every hotel to 66 degrees ever since. This one doesn't even go down to 66. So yeah, I think this is going to impact the room score, but it's such an incredible room, the base room and the suite, that it might overpower it, so I have to think about it.
Every room category, from the base level room all the way to the Andre Fou suite, uses the same furniture, the same design, and the same decor. It is really spectacular, truly incorporating both Hong Kong and westernized design styles. Andre Fou did a wonderful job. It has an excellent feng shui, a nice zen to it. It's very peaceful and calm. There's modern integrations, but they don't feel like they're getting in your way or that they are dated like other hotels. Now, on the negative side of things, it was definitely far from the best night of sleep that I've had. I didn't love the sheets, the bed, the pillows were pretty firm, and for those that are light sensitive, there was no blackout curtain in the room, so it got quite bright early in the morning. However, those are small considerations compared to the extraordinary views and everything else already mentioned. Considering all of the categories, I gave the room a 9 out of 10. There are 2 restaurants and 2 cafes here at the Upper House. The 2 restaurants are Salistera, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the Continental, which is primarily a dinner establishment. There's a little cafe in the lobby, and then the Green Room, which is a cafe attached to Salistera. Overall, it's a pretty limited menu across the 4 of them, but let's give them all a try, and then a final dining score.
Let's kick off the dining segment with the Tea Room Cafe. So this is a limited drinks and pastries menu where they bring in third-party partners to change it on a regular basis. So they will actually customize the menu to that partner and add in fun drinks and different lattes and espressos and matcha. It's a perfect spot to grab and go for the day. All right, now for dinner, we have the Continental, which is in the business district surrounding the Upper House, so slightly off-site, but still managed and owned by the Upper House. This is a European grill menu tonight, which does look pretty good, so I'm excited to dive in. So I always ask what they recommend is the most popular items on the menu, and they said this onion soup is one of their best. So it is a soft egg in the middle and some deconstructed onion soup components underneath it. It smells so good. It also comes out with a small sandwich with truffle pate inside. That is excellent. A little biased, I do love a French onion soup, but they have done a beautiful job with this one. Not too rich, not too heavy. That was a score right out of the gate for the Continental. I wish you were here to try this. We may be in Hong Kong, but they have really mastered some European dishes. These dishes are really calling to me here. These are some of my favorite dishes. Risotto first. Not the flavor I was expecting for that one. Actually a little bit sour, and the crisps on top are a bit soggy, which is an interesting choice. Okay, Salistera is Mediterranean. It has a little bit of competition here at the Continental. But Salistera is actually in the Upper House, as you saw before. So let's take a look how they do dinner over there. Now for dinner at Salistera, there's a multi-course menu and an a la carte menu that you can choose from. It's an eclectic mix of Mediterranean dishes here tonight, and I can't wait to see how they plate it, how they present it, and how it comes to the table. So this is their signature dish here. This is the octopus, and it comes out with olives and with pomegranate seeds. Give this one a try. So I'm not the biggest fan of this dish, particularly because of the octopus. There's kind of a gooiness to it, and I just feel like that combined with the flavor of the octopus itself isn't quite connecting for me on this dish. However, I really like the pomegranate and the olive in the center, and I love that like crisp crunch. It's a little bit of sweetness in there, so that was really well done. The octopus itself is far from my favorite octopus I've ever had. So they leave the uncooked sea bass in a salt crust for half a day, so it soaks up the herbs and the salt. They break it for you table side and then bring it back into the kitchen, cook it,
and plate it for you so you can see everything in front of you. So it is a little bit dry and partially overcooked, but they do give you some different sauces that you can put over the top here. So let's give it another try. Really helps quite a lot with the seasoning and with the dryness of the fish, but it's missing something to just bring the flavors out a little bit more and make you remember it. The dessert course just came out and it smells and looks like a combination of an apple pie with a monkey bread. So fragrant, looks and smells amazing. So I can't wait to try it. Comes out with 3 different sides here. So you can pour cardamom caramel, a pistachio crumble, and then you have breadcrumbs as well. Whoa, that is an incredible combination of flavors. That combination is extraordinarily good. This is a dangerous dessert. An exceptionally strong finish here at Salistera with the dessert. That brings the entire dining score up a notch, just that dessert.
Considering the small coffee shop, the green room, Salistera, and the Continental, there's a good amount of diversity here with the dining at the Upper House, or so you would think. In fact, most of the meals all feel the same. They're Mediterranean, European, but no Cantonese, nothing that feels like you're here in Hong Kong or even references local ingredients, at least that I saw. Speaking to the food itself and the flavor, most of it was unfortunately a little bit subpar. That salt-encrusted fish was pretty flavorless, and most of Continental was okay, nothing too memorable, but there were a few standouts like that onion soup. All in all, the dining experience here was good, but nothing memorable. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, the service is incredibly important to the Upper House. I cannot wait to give it a test and see how they do. Okay, it is 6:58 a.m. The Eggs Benedict and coffee arrived on time. Let's see how they look. Tell me that doesn't look super fresh. Clean plating here. You know, we've seen a mixture of different ways that Eggs Benedict is made at all of these different hotels around the world. We've got our coffee. Comes in a heated, almost soup container. It's a very small coffee container compared to others that we've seen, but it really comes down how fresh and hot it is. Let's see. Moment of truth. So fun fact, that's why I picked Eggs Benedict for all of my breakfast tests. Because if that egg is hard, that means it's been sitting for a while or it's overcooked. That is a classic Eggs Benedict. That is as Eggs Benedict as you can get. Okay, the food is fresh, coffee is hot, albeit a little bit small. I'm definitely gonna need more than this today, but we won't know the official service score until we do something a little more creative in the service test. So let's give the Upper House an official service test. Now, the service test is the part of the review where I call the front desk and ask them for something they're probably not used to hearing or that is very last minute. In the past, I've asked for a camera made out of chocolate, a soccer ball signed by the entire staff, or dozens of cups of espresso. Here in Hong Kong, tea is a very big part of the culture. There's been tea served in almost every restaurant that I've dined at, here and outside of the Upper House. I wonder if they can do a private tea ceremony in the room tonight in the hotel. Hi there, I have kind of an odd request for you that's a little bit last minute.
Yes, I can help you.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could do a tea ceremony, a private tea ceremony in the Andre Fu suite.
Oh, understand. So, for this, allow us to check with our team. May I know how many people is for tea ceremony?
Just for me.
Okay. Alright, yes, we can do it for tonight in the Andre Fu suite.
Oh, wonderful. You can do it for tonight.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll step out for a minute and you can get everything set up.
No problem. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's walk around a little bit.
Hong Kong has set the tone and the bar for global hospitality for many years. In fact, a lot of name brand chains have started here in Hong Kong, like the Rosewood and the Shangri-La, for example. At the Upper House, service is so important to the ethos. They want you to feel like you are truly home. Everything at the Upper House service-wise was excellent. They're very hands-on, very thoughtful, and it is a small team, but they feel ever present. However, not everything was perfect. That circular desk for check-in just isn't my favorite. I feel that there's a reason luxury hotels have utilized the standard check-in desk and concierge for decades, if not centuries, and why would you change something that isn't broken? The circular table made me feel like I was intruding on a business meeting, first thing checking in. Additionally, all of their staff have been trained to handle every single thing that comes up for a guest, from concierge needs to room service to any general check-in questions and getting things like new room cards. The challenge with that is you don't have segmented service that are specialized in their individual verticals. Every staff here does everything, and you know that age-old mantra that a jack of all trades is a master of none. However, the service truly still is excellent and the staff is impeccably trained and taken care of at the Upper House. Let's see how they did on that service test because I'm sure it was incredible.
All right, let's see. Whoa. Wow, you look so zen right here. So good to see you. I know you're in your zone, but thank you. This is so wonderful. Thank you for doing this so last minute.
To use about one encounter, one chance. Tea cake called Righteousness. One of the tea farmers, Mr. Leung, he spent his whole life dedicated to developing the most beautiful shopers from Yunnan.
Wow, that definitely passed the service test. May is incredible. I just feel grounded, connected. Upper House really is a special place. Let's give it a service score.
It's time for the service score for the Upper House. Now, the staff here are truly, honestly, some of the most kind, hands-on, thoughtful people that you will ever meet at any hotel. One of the staff said to me during this review that if a guest needed them to transfer blood for them, they would do it. I mean, it is truly that level of care for the people who come into the Upper House. They passed that service test with having May come in with the tea ceremony, and they passed the breakfast test. However, the reason that this is not a 10 is because service is about so much more than just what they do for you. It's also about how they make you feel. Here at the Upper House, I got a sense of stress from the staff, trying so hard to please all of the guests of the hotel at all times that they themselves feel very stressed out. Many of them were writing me at all hours of the day and all hours of the night. Now, I run a company as well, and it's something that I look for is making sure your staff have time to take breaks, that they have good work-life balance, that they're able to take care of themselves, and that may be the case here, but I just didn't notice it during my stay. Additional room for improvement includes the welcome and check-in process, which I think is just a little bit clunky and maybe should be reconsidered. There was also no welcome drink. However, they made up for that with a lot of welcome amenities in the room. I gave the service an 8.5 out of 10.
Now for the it factor. The it factor score really comes down to the special thing that makes you want to keep coming back to a hotel. It's the indescribables, the feeling that you get. It's what makes you want to tell your friends and family about it.
Part of the it factor is the location, and here at the Upper House they have these brand new BMWs, which are the house cars, to take you really anywhere you want to go. But I will say the surrounding area around the hotel is not that walkable or interesting. It's kind of this corporate complex that has a lot of concrete, and there's really not much to do in the area, so you probably will have to drive to be somewhere that's of interest. Another consideration with the it factor score is the value, and at that price point, it's not the best value for the money. Now, there's other hotels in the area like the Hari that are $160 per night and have similar amenities. There's no pool, there's no spa, and most of those wellness facilities are off-site. And we already talked about the location, so that really just leaves the history and the background. Now, the hotel is very unique and interesting. It's a new concept. Many people do come here to stay specifically for that wellness component and the minimalism of the hotel. All of this in mind, I gave the it factor a 7 out of 10. And with that, it's unfortunately time to check out of the Upper House. I definitely recommend this stay next time you're here in Hong Kong, especially if you're looking for a unique wellness-focused hotel where you leave feeling better than you checked in. If you add all of the scores together throughout this review video, I gave the Upper House Hong Kong a 39.5 out of 50. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ryan Walker, and we'll see you on the next one.